Hey guys, it's Olivia, and I am really excited about what's coming next. So, this past season, we went deep. A lot of truth bombs, a lot of powerful conversations, and honestly, some heavy realities about public safety and trauma. But here's the thing, where's the fun? Because if you talk to anyone on the inside, they will tell you that this can be one of the greatest jobs in the world. And from my perspective, working alongside first responders has not only been extremely meaningful, it's also been some of the most fun I've ever had. I have laughed so hard, it hurts. I've sweat, I've learned, grown, and pushed way past what I thought were my limits. So next season, we're shifting. We will still be grounded in the real stuff, but we're bringing you a different look inside the experience. We're going to follow one person in real time as she steps into a career in public safety, or at least tries to. We're documenting everything: the application process, the testing, the waiting, the setbacks, the wins, and those first days on the job, if she gets there. Because here's the truth: this path isn't guaranteed. Great candidates don't always make it on the first try. Sometimes it takes multiple rounds. Sometimes people get close and fall short. And sometimes they realize it's not for them. And we just don't know how this story is going to end. We'll be experiencing every twist right alongside you. But I'll tell you this, I have a feeling she's going to rise. Our candidate, yes, our candidate, is Linzie Alvarez. She's 23, a New Mexico native, old soul, sharp sense of humor, and don't let her calm, sweet voice fool you. She's a no nonsense powerhouse. She's been training with Yoga for First Responders since October 2025, and she just completed our instructor school. So we're sending her forward into the wild world of firefighting, fully equipped with the tools to train her mind, regulate her nervous system, and perform under pressure. And we're going with her. You're going to hear it all: the nerves, the excitement, the doubt, the growth, and how she breathes through it. So follow along as we walk with her, train with her, and see what she's really made of. And don't worry, we'll still be dropping quick casts every other week, but they're going to be more focused on what's unfolding behind the scenes, what's new with YFFR, how we're expanding, what we're building, and most importantly, how you can take advantage of it. It's all about fun, growth, and big leaps this coming season. So get ready. This episode is my first conversation with Linzie, and it was recorded on the day Bernalillo County Fire and Rescue opened firefighter applications. So let's get into it. I'll see you next season. Welcome to Yoga for First Responders On Air, where we break down yoga, neuroscience, resilience, and public safety in a manner that's authentic, educational, and most importantly, entertaining and lighthearted. I'm YFFR's founder, Olivia Mead. As a yoga instructor and neuroscience enthusiast, I'm passionate about supporting first responders and anyone looking to improve their overall human performance. Each week, we'll dive into a new topic and often bring on expert guests to share their insights and experiences. But we'll also keep it real and share our own stories and struggles along the way. So whether you're a first responder or seeking to master the science of mental and physical resilience, this podcast is your ultimate guide to triumph over life's challenges with unbreakable strength and unwavering fortitude. By pressing play, your training has begun. Linzie Alvarez, LGA, LaGuardia Airport. Thank you for joining me on the On Air podcast. Do you know what on air means?
No.
Well, we're going to have to learn that because you're applying to the Fire Academy. So, guys, this season is all about Linzie. So you better start liking her. Get used to her because we're going to be following her through this process. So tell us where you are now. Okay, tell us where we are in. Lindsay has attended instructor school, dipped her toe in at the academy that hopefully she will be going to in that same building.
Yes.
And today is such a great day to start off. I mean, this is closing off the last season of our podcast, but it's to introduce what we're going to be doing this next season,
Yes.
which is basically like follow along with someone entering into fire service. And what's cool is that by you doing so much YFFR work, you're going to proactively have all of this stuff that like no one else. By the way, I realize I can do like that to our video that we don't have to see ourselves in the corner of our eye. You're going to proactively have all these tools, so it's going to be really cool to follow you along. So we thought today would be a great day to introduce this podcast series. Why?
Because I am applying for Bernalillo County Fire Department today. Fire rescue.
How's it going?
It's harder than I expected.
And what makes it hard?
The technical difficulties
Yeah.
are killing me. Oh my gosh. I've had to restart it at least twice, getting the application done. I had to update my resume, which needed to be done anyway. So I got that done, and then there's just things that I thought I had to fill out that I thought were required, and then I didn't have, like the certifications and stuff, which I don't need, but if I had them, I should put them there. But then anyway, so it was all
So I think welcome to the government. Like
I
nothing,
think that's what's happening here.
nothing will be efficient
Yes.
ever.
Great.
And so this is a really great introduction. I tried to help her with this application, and yeah, it's very confusing. It's like you better enter your certifications. And if you don't have firefighter one, well, then we're not accepting you to get your firefighter one. It's like,
But you don't
but I don't
actually.
have it.
Yeah. And also, yeah, I'm a new firefighter. How could I have that?
Yeah, so it was very confusing. But then and it said required, but then we literally just deleted
Skipped
it
it.
and like skipped it and like allowed us to move
Yeah.
on. So I don't know. So it's very, very confusing. She also needed to put up her high school transcript, and that's a whole
My
goose.
college transcript.
Oh, your college, sorry.
Okay.
That's a whole goose chase.
So I'm waiting on that to be emailed to me, which who knows how long that will
Well,
take.
yeah, this will be the whole season of this podcast will be waiting on your college transcripts. And then it's going to be like, well, I guess she has to apply next year.
Yeah.
So we actually called in. So luckily, because we do have contacts with Bernalillo Fire Rescue, they came to instructor school. We do, and the recruiting firefighter there. So we were able to have a lifeline, call a friend. And this is the recording. This is the second recording we sent this person who is not in charge of recruiting, by the way. We were just like, let's do what
We
he said.
couldn't get a hold of the other.
We couldn't get a hold of the one actually in charge of recruiting. So here is the recording of what we asked of him, and I'll play it for you now. Hi, it's us again. So we were able to bypass the certification thing, but then it's saying, Lindsay, can you read it out?
Yes, I understand that the position I'm applying for requires licenses and certifications, and that I must attach copies of my license/certifications at the time of application in order for my application to be further considered.
Say application one more
If I don't
time.
attach a copy of my license and certification, my application will no longer be considered for this position. And then it says, do you have a valid license as an EMT? And I put not applicable because I don't. And then the second question is, what level of IFSAC or Pro Board firefighter certification do you possess? And I put not applicable because I don't have that yet. So I thought I didn't need this. Well, and also I can't have that yet. I'm a new firefighter, so
maybe NA is.
Maybe, I don't know.
Just save and continue and see what else is happening.
I just want to make sure I'm not missing something.
Manny, we're documenting this here, that if she's doing this wrong, it's
your fault.
Your fault. Okay, so that's how it's going so far.
Now we're stuck waiting for the transcript.
And yeah. So the process has started, Lindsay. What are you feeling?
Yesterday, the applications opened, and I felt this sense of relief knowing that there's now a more clear timeline of when this stuff is happening because Bernalillo County didn't put out any specific information of when it was going to happen. So I found out yesterday that they were open, and I was like, okay, we have arrived at the starting point. Now I kind of know what to expect a little bit better. And that I feel like that helped me settle a little bit more because I'm not waiting for the unknown any longer.
Yeah.
And then as the evening went on, I wasn't able to apply yesterday, obviously. So as the evening went on, I was feeling really excited. And then I was feeling like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And like a little bit nervous. And then I was like, no, this is what I've been working toward for a while now. And I feel even more determined to work harder in the gym and to make sure I'm as prepared as I can be. And also with YFFR, making sure that I am coming to class every Tuesday and Thursday and having a practice at home every morning if I can. And also applying the breath work in my daily life when I'm under any sort of stress, any pressure. So all of those things kind of went through my head yesterday. And today I was like really giddy and nervous to start the application. And then now I'm just irritated because that application stops.
You know what? Really think that this whole journey you've been on in the last 24 hours is probably represents a whole 24-hour shift.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I'm here, I'm at work, let's get a workout in, I'm here to save lives, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get burdened with paperwork. And, you know, I talk about in my in-service trainings a lot that the stressors that I'm talking about primarily is not like the big, bad, ugly stuff you see on the street. Like, you're trained for that. It's the little tiny pokes that's going to bruise your nervous system. And so then your nervous system is weak and bruised from all this cumulative bullshit. You go out in the street, you see a gnarly call, and your nervous system can't handle it. So we think it's the gnarly call that caused us to go into a spiral.
It's just a primed nervous system.
It's primed for, yeah, exactly. So you're doing such great work on like, you know, okay, I'm seeing my frustration. How can I attune my nervous system and this or that? And how can I make a change? Doesn't mean you have to take it. You'd be like, okay, let me step away. What's the most efficient way to do this? Do I need to focus on all this little stuff, or can I bypass it and get to the, you know? So I think that's really cool. And you know, we discovered that firefighting might be good for you when we were in an Einstein's Bagels.
We were.
Yeah. And tell me about that moment, that aha moment.
I always describe it as magical, because it was like everything fell into place perfectly in that Einstein's Bagels with the right people who knew the right information about me and the right information about firefighting and put all the pieces together at the right moment for us to all realize, oh my gosh, this is what I need to be doing. And yeah, it was just magical. It was incredible.
Someone had a video of all three of us. So it was Lindsay and me, and then it was Allie, our friend Allie, who has been on this podcast, and she and I are putting together the grief course and stuff. So she's she's still licensed, so still firefighter, husband's a firefighter, all that stuff. And look at her Substack. She is Relentless Resilience is her Substack. Anyway,
and
she's a speaker. She's great. She's everything. And I think all of our eyes like widened at the same time.
We all got chills.
Yeah, because we all went to work out together and we were looking at Lindsay's bod and we were like, that bitch is strong. I mean, you're strong. And I'm like, 5 pounds, clink, clink. And she's like, raw, you know, but also like, you're just, you know, you also have this wonderful nurturing energy about you. So Allie was like, you're built like a firefighter. And we all went, that's what she is.
Well, and the reason it was such a powerful moment, it had such an impact when that was said out loud, was because that's something I've been, I don't know if struggling with is the right verbiage, but really trying to understand where I fit into the world and what I have to offer at that time that that was mentioned.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had been doing a lot of inner work about. You know, just medical things that I've had to deal with for most of my life and figuring out how to be productive and do something that felt important in the face of those things. And as we were talking about firefighting, kind of breaking down like, okay, would this work with this? Would this work with that? And we were like, and also like my own values, the things that I bring to the table, and really wanting to um, serve the community in some way. I wasn't sure what that was going to look like. And then really breaking down how firefighting fit into that. It was just like, I can't believe that I hadn't even considered that, even though I was doing YFFR
Yeah.
specifically for several months, and it just never crossed my mind. And then as soon as I kind of committed to myself of like, yes, this is what I'm going to pursue, and we'll see what happens along the way and along that path of conditioning and working out and preparing mentally and doing YFFR and all of these things. I started to figure out a lot of solutions to my medical problems because I was being pushed into that corner of like, I need to be able to function at an optimal level to do this job, specifically so that I don't hurt myself, so that I don't hurt other people. And yeah, it's just been so aligned. And I think that I kind of needed that extra push to find solutions for those things. So it's all been so connected and it's all come together so beautifully.
I would like to do maybe in the season that's all about Lindsay. I would like to do episodes on each one of these medical conditions, like your IBS. The reason I was smiling just now is I had that joke lined up and I knew it was coming. So I was smiling just now. She won't let me do video, otherwise you'd see that I was like smile. I couldn't keep a straight face. Like I'm gonna fucking say IBS. Say like your goiter. We're gonna do an episode about your third nipple. But in all seriousness, we're talking migraines, stuff like that. But I would like to maybe, because I'm sure there are folks out there who would like some solutions too. And
Yeah,
so maybe we can do a few episodes on that.
for sure. I've learned a lot.
How did you think about this career before attending instructor school versus after?
Before instructor school, before being surrounded by all of these firefighters, police officers, I think that the idea of being a firefighter was kind of far away and more romanticized in my head. And I don't say that with a negative connotation because I think I still have some of that, but it seemed less real. And it seemed like, oh, this is just something I'm gonna do, and like not much reality was attached to it because I didn't really have
context.
Yeah, I didn't have context. I didn't have too much of a frame of reference.
Yeah.
Really. And I still really don't. Like I haven't experienced these things yet. But going through a week-long instructor school with these people who were processing their own things from their jobs, which I'm sure lots of people in different professions would benefit from those things. But I think specifically seeing well, even more specifically, female firefighters dealing with these things, talking about these things, and offering me words of wisdom and advice for, how to navigate all of this. It just made it a lot more real and a lot less fluffy in my head, a lot less glorified, I think. Yeah, I think it just grounded me in reality more.
When you put on the bunker gear at instructor school and you were pulling hose.
I was stoked.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this feels really cool. Like it was like it was just like adding sensory things to what I already had in my head, like getting to start to feel those things and then getting to actually do the drill in the tower.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And it was really cool to be able to hear my breath with the SCBA trainers that we had on our masks. And because I could hear it so loudly, it reminded me to do our breathing.
Yes.
And just be aware of my body, be aware of my teammates and what they were saying and what, they needed from me. And Yeah, I just loved it. I loved everything about it. And I know that was a short drill, but it made me even more excited to train.
It's so cool that you have this proactive stuff that we've taught you because with breath work and everything, because that's hearing your own breath for some can be triggering.
Yeah.
It can feel contained, it can feel claustrophobic. But for you, having proactively done breath training, you were like, thank you
Yeah.
for my breath being right here and reminding me.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of
It's calming in there when you're by yourself, just listening to your breath and
see, you just found it calming in other people who don't have that
yeah.
proactive training. So that's such a slight reframe, but it could be life-saving.
Yeah.
Because it's the people have ripped off their masks in buildings and killed themselves because of it.
Yeah.
But that one small reframe is literally could be life-saving.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we talk about breath work and yoga and this or that, and people know, I know it's good. And I always say, well, then how come we're not blasted with millions of firefighters around the world then? And we're given, you know what I mean? Like there's something that is stuck there, and you don't realize that although it's a subtle thing,
Yeah.
the impact is profound.
Right.
And I think if you really experience that, and listen, we all know what's good for us. Drink a lot of water.
Right.
And we're not, at least I'm not, but I know it's good for me. Okay, so what's stopping me, this or that? That's why it's like, I think it's important to make training like this mandatory.
Yeah.
Because people are just not going to do it on their own unless, they're truly, truly disciplined. So it's cool that you've been, staying so disciplined with it.
Yeah.
What can we expect? Like, okay, so we know we're applying now. We're gonna start recording now, even though this isn't gonna come out till later.
Yes.
We're gonna start the process so we see how everything goes. But like, what do you think? And we don't know yet, but what do you think the listener is going to receive from who you are? Not just like, you're gonna hear me going through this or that. No, like because of you and you and me doing this together, what can they expect?
I think you can expect an honest review of all the processes and my feelings and my mindset, the things I'm telling myself, the tools that I'm using, the conversations I'm having with people, you, Allie, Eric.
Yeah, we'll bring in some people too, so you can like debrief too.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it, just as real as it can be because I'm really going through this.
So this season, I mean, I want to take this all the way through the academy lens. This season could be like a 1 year like season.
Let's do it.
It could also be 2 week season.
Yeah, if they say access denied.
Lindsay does not get accepted, then season over. You know what? Let's just shut down the whole podcast. In that case, it's not even worth it. But jokes aside, you often do apply several times. And so that might be part of the journey too, and you know that.
I have several departments on my list that I'm really excited about. This just happens to be the first one that's open.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll start recording. This will be put out soon, and we're just gonna follow Lindsay, like we're her little SCBA on her back, breathing with her. Is that what we should call this season? Breathing with her. I love it. Oh my God. It's good. It's so good. Okay. Well, I'm excited, Linz. Thanks for being on this journey.
Thanks for
you, me, and your IBS. All right. Listen, she thinks, by the way, if you don't know, Lindsay's 23.
Yeah.
Like I could be legit her mother. People have assumed I'm her mother, which is also a compliment because she's beautiful. So it's like, oh, yeah, she came out of my body, of course. But I was like, what are you talking about? You think I was 10 years old? Which is obviously it's absolutely true. It could be, but she often says that I'm in my late 60s. Like that's how she thinks of me, and she thinks it's hilarious. So it's, I have a lot of IBS jokes coming for you, Lindsay.
I can take it. I've been dealing it for quite a while.
This is the fire service culture. You have to be able to take some jokes about yourself.
It's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. All right, stay tuned. Hey, before we go, I want to remind you that training your mental and physical health is incredibly important, especially for those working in high-stress jobs like first responders.
And if you're interested in learning more about yoga for first responders, visit yogaforfirstresponders.org for our on-demand training app, online course platform, in-person training, and more.
Like this podcast, subscribe, and give us a great review. We are so happy to have you part of the YFFR mission.